Welcome back to Boy You Have Seen Nothing. And today on Boy You Have Seen Nothing, we are going to finally finish my Evil Dead series of reviews with Army of Darkness. Enjoy. Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again, and today we're going to review Army of Darkness. So Army of Darkness stars Bruce Campbell, and what this film is basically about, it's about, Ash, what of course happens at the end of the second movie. Ash gets sent back to medieval times, and now, he needs to find this book to send him back to his time, and yeah, it's not that easy because the evil is in medieval times with him, and yeah, some shenanigans ensue. So, what did I think of Army of Darkness? Now, if you've been following my channel for the past couple of years now, I have been yearly reviewing each of the Evil Dead movies. I thought it would be a little fun thing to do. In 2015, I reviewed the first movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very solid horror film. And last year I reviewed the second movie. It's kind of overrated. I didn't really enjoy the second movie. It really wasn't that funny. It was really boring, honestly. I just didn't enjoy it as much. So going into Army of Darkness, I didn't really expect much. I was hoping maybe it could at least be better than the second movie. And what I got was just a fun, great, enjoyable, goofball cheese movie. That's exactly what I got with this film. It was glorious in almost every way. I loved Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is by far my favorite in this series. It really is. I loved almost every minute of this movie. This movie is just cornball and cheese to the max. It is great. It is cheesy as hell, but I loved it. It was so great. I loved Army of Darkness so much. It's such a great, fun, enjoyable movie. So let's get into my positives, and my positives are, first being the acting. The acting is great. I love the acting in this movie. Bruce Campbell, of course, as Ash. Seriously, he is fantastic. Probably Ash is probably my favorite hero in any horror film. Because this guy is just smart-witted, he is humorous, he just doesn't give a damn, he is suave as hell. Just this guy is awesome. And this is by far the best I've seen of him in any of these movies. He is great. I loved Bruce Campbell in this movie. He does such a great job as Ash. He is fantastic. Like, he just brings so much to this character. It's great. Like, I loved him in this movie. He was so funny and so enjoyable. And everyone else is really good too. Like, I thought the rest of the acting was pretty solid as well. The horror element of it does work solidly. Mostly for the most part, really, this is a comedy. But, it still has its horror roots in there, and it's really good. Like, I really like some of the horror elements with this film, that they do and stuff like that. It is pretty solid. But where it shines, it is the humor. And I thought this was way funnier than the second movie. Way funnier. The humor in this is fantastic. Like, seriously, it is great. Like, I love the humor with this movie. It is so funny. Like, they know they are making a ridiculous movie. I mean, come on now. This is set in medieval times with darkness, with like this evil coming out. Come on. It's aware of what it's doing. Not saying the second movie wasn't aware of what it was doing, but I think this one does it a ton better. And it's just great. I love the humor with Army of Darkness. It's fantastic. The comedy is just great. It's very well written. It's just really fantastic. Like, it had me laughing a lot during this movie. Like, I really seriously was laughing a ton during this movie because the humor is just fantastic. I really like a lot of the makeup effects that they do use. They do use a lot of practical effects in this, and they are great. I do really love a lot of the practical effects that are used in this film. They are very good, in my opinion, and they do work very solid in this film. So yeah, I do love the practical effects that do go into this film. The writing, like I said, is really fantastic. I love the writing with this movie. It's so well written, and, just the dialogue is great. Everything about the writing is fantastic. Directing is amazing with this movie. I love the directing with this film. It is, of course, directed by Sam Raimi, and Sam Raimi does a great job directing the film. Like, it's very well shot. Editing is really good as well. You know, he has his unique way of making these movies. I really appreciate that a lot. And it's really good. Like, I really love the style that he brings with these films. And, you know, like I said, it's very well shot. Editing's really good. Cinematography is really solid as well. So yeah, the directing with this movie is really great. Like, I love the style that Sam Raimi does bring to all of these movies, and he does a really solid job of directing them. And there was never a time, honestly, I was bored with this movie. This movie does move at a nice, solid pace. It's only an hour and 21 minutes, and, you know, it doesn't really waste any time. Like, it gets along with the plot, and I like that. With a short running time like that, they just get on with the plot. They don't drag it out or anything. They just get on with it, and I love that, you know. So, yeah, there was never really a time I was bored with the film. Now, there are a few things I didn't like about the movie. So, my negatives are, first being, it does get a little bit ridiculous. I will admit, there are some times where it just kind of gets a little too ridiculous at points. I was like, okay, it could tone down a little bit. But, yeah, there are some moments in the movie where I do think it could get a tiny bit ridiculous. And lastly, the CGI could... Like, the CGI, honestly, is really bad. You know, they use practical effects mostly for the most part, but they do have to use CGI at points, and it just doesn't look good. Like, it really looks out of place and very green screen, and it's really obviously noticeable. So, yeah. But besides that, Army of Darkness is great. It's by far my favorite in the series. I love this movie so much. It was just a cornball and cheese of a film. It's goofy, it's cheesy, it's over the top, but dang it, is it amazing as well. I loved Army of Darkness. So it's time for my official grade on Army of Darkness, and my official grade on Army of Darkness is an A-. It is a fantastic movie. I had such a blast watching this movie. Seriously, it is a fun watch from beginning to end. I loved Army of Darkness. It is so great. I loved it a ton. It is a fantastic movie. If you've never seen Army of Darkness, see it. This is just a big old cornball and cheese of a film, and it's just wonderful to watch, honestly. I loved it. Definitely deserves an A-. So, if you have seen Army of Darkness, what did you think of it? Leave in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we will see you about later. Peace.